Hey there, my name is Tyler, and today we're going to be talking about some of the best practices to use with the IPICO readers. One of the first things that we want to talk about is PreRace Setup. One of the first things about our readers that we want to take care of is charging. So from a completely depleted battery, you would want to charge the reader for a full 8 hours using the external wall connector. So make sure you get those charged overnight prior to the event. And then next up, you're going to want to make sure the configuration is good to go. And when I say configuration, things like the event name, the point name of the reader, as well as the reader configuration, if it's a primary, a backup, or an announcer reader. All of those settings can be done ahead of time, whether that's through the web interface on a laptop or through a mobile device. We want to make sure all that's taken care of prior to the race day. When it comes to actually making sure the memory is taken care of, you would want to clear out any old races, making sure you have backups of the data first, but then go ahead and clear out the information that's stored on the readers. And then next up, just making sure that all of your cables and connections look good, they've been cleaned, and they're free of any dirt or debris. When it comes to checking your cables, go ahead and inspect them prior to the race. Look at them, make sure the connectors look clear. If you've been storing them in a bin for a while, it might be good to actually plug them in, make sure that they show up correctly on the reader. And then as well, when it comes to the antennas, just inspect the edges of the connection, make sure nothing's frayed or nicked, as that will affect signal strength. When it comes time to actually deploy the readers out on the course, you want to make sure that the reader is in the position flat like this, where the elements are not facing up. And what I mean by that is if it starts raining or if you've got direct sunlight and intense heat situations, you don't want that coming straight down onto the main part of the reader where you see the screen and the connections. So go ahead and rotate it so that the connections are facing out and not up. Once you've done that, go ahead and prevent any, if it is going to rain or you're worried about heat, some kind of covering of some kind to keep it out of the direct elements would be best. That'll just help keep the performance going throughout the length of your event. When you're plugging everything in, you want to make sure that you look on the screen of the reader to make sure all of the antennas show up correctly. You'll see a display on the screen with a count of how many antennas are successfully connected. You should see all of them appear. Just make sure you're not doing that last minute. As soon as race gets started, you want to make sure you're scanning, making sure that everything's looking good in terms of the cables, the connections, and everything's tightened down securely. And last but not least, make sure you can run a tag over the antennas, make sure that's showing up correctly and that everything is checking out in your timing software. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching and hope you learned a lot.